This was meant to be a new start, really. The perfect world. But things started to go wrong soon after you arrived. You followed the plan, and you destroyed that bloody machine once and for all.
Please, you must help me. Only together can we prevent the destruction of your world.
Things have got way too far out of control. We're talking about the Apothecons. The most powerful and evil entities in all the existences that ever existed.
Call of Duty Zombies mode is one of the best parts of the franchise, and throughout its history, the series has expanded on the lore in surprising ways. Seriously, some of it is just crazy. From aliens, interdimensional beings to multiversal theories, Call of Duty has it all. Hey guys, what's happening? Niyat here with Film Comics Explained, and as requested, in today's video, we're going to look at everything there is to know about Element 115, the substance responsible for the zombies and the hyper-powered weapons found in the Aether storyline. To understand the lore behind the Zombies mode found in Call of Duty, and by extension, the origins of Element 115, we need to begin by acknowledging the existence of the mode's narrative multiverse. There are effectively three stories that comprise the Zombies universe: the Aether Story, the Chaos Story, and the Dark Aether Story, with Element 115 primarily presenting itself in the Aether Story.
Such a paradox means you're putting my perfect world at risk. You guys and your bloody free will. What to do? What to do?
Dr. Monty, a being who is part of the mystical race of creatures known as Keepers, and a key figure in the Aether Story, talks at length about the existence of multiple universes, claiming that prior to this, there was a single universe that shattered and split into multiple shards. Through their mastery of the Aether, the Keepers were able to travel between dimensions, but attempting to gain more power, some experimented with Dark Aether, leading to their corruption. These corrupted Keepers became known as the Apothecons, creators of an object of immense power called the Aether Pyramid. Long story short, a war eventually broke out between the Keepers and the Apothecons, which ended with the latter's defeat. As a result, the Keepers banished the Apothecons to the Dark Aether, where their bodies were changed and lost any semblance of their former selves. Through their attempts to return to Agatha, another name for the Aether dimension, they discovered that Earth could serve as a possible gateway. So, they sent meteors containing Element 115 to the human planet in a bid to generate conflict. They essentially believed that the ensuing war for control over Element 115 would result in the opening of a portal that would ultimately allow the Apothecons to escape the Dark Aether. This began a chain reaction of events and a series of conflicts involving the Keepers, now known as Guardians, the humans of Earth, and the Apothecons. Fast forward several decades, a German collective known as Group 935, tasked with uncovering the secrets of civilizations long past, unearthed Element 115 while excavating a series of ruins in France belonging to what they called the Ancients. Led by a scientist called Dr. Ludwig Maxis, they discovered what appeared to be a power source, unlike anything they'd ever seen, and immediately had it transported to Der Riese for experimentation. It's because of its seemingly wondrous and divine power, and its ability to both corrupt and heal living organisms, that Group 935 named Element 115 Divinium. Once they unraveled the potential Element 115 held, they began reverse engineering weapons and artifacts used by the Ancients. The knowledge they gained from their efforts led to the creation of wonder weapons such as the Raygun, Winter's Howl, Wunderwaffe DG2, and the Thundergun. Element 115's power was found to be so vast that the scientists of Group 935 were able to create matter transfer devices, or MTDs, which allowed them to teleport objects and humans across long distances. As we've mentioned, the Keepers, also referred to as the Ancients, had a unique attunement to Element 115, which enabled them to manipulate the substance in far more advanced ways. In fact, the Keepers had no need for electricity and machinery to take advantage of Divinium's properties and relied solely on raw materials. Through these simple means, they were able to create powerful weapons and wormhole generators. However, though they were unable to harness the full potential of Element 115, Group 935 did accomplish a fair bit with the substance. Scientists like Dr. Maxis and Dr. Edward Richthofen led projects that resulted in powerful weapons, MTDs, as well as weapon infusion devices known as Pack-a-Punch. While working with Element 115, they also made an additional discovery about the substance. Amongst its many potent properties, none are as horrifying as the effects Element 115 has on the human body. Specifically, when coming into contact with a corpse, the substance could reanimate it, resulting in the creation of the titular zombies. These walking dead creatures retain the state in which their mortal shell was left in, including any and all stages of decay. Their eyes have a distinct pale blue or bright orange glow that signifies their current state. These zombies lack any higher cognitive functions and are unable to feel pain, and once reanimated by Element 115, the walking corpses are highly aggressive and can't be controlled or reasoned, with one exception. If a person holding a fragment of divinium can attune to the ether, they can command and influence the zombies like they're a hive mind. This was something Dr. Maxis was attempting after teleporting to the moon during one of his secret tests. Zombies created by Element 115 came in a variety of flavors, depending on the conditions under which they were killed and subsequently exposed to the alien substance. Napalm Zombies, for instance, were the unfortunate result of Element 115-infused napalm explosions. After people were killed, they were reanimated when the infused napalm entered their bodies, granting them the ability to explode. Astro Zombies, on the other hand, were zombies on the moon that happened to be inside pressurized suits at the time of reanimation. However, the extreme pressure that their bodies are subjected to increased the volatility of 115, effectively giving Astro Zombies the ability to displace things. I told you that this was crazy. The effects on a living body, on the other hand, are completely different. Due to overexposure to unprocessed Element 115, several Group 935 researchers began displaying a variety of cognitive breakdowns. These included memory loss, schizophrenia, and near-total mental shutdown. This is because after entering a living body's bloodstream, typically after being inhaled in its gas form, divinium gathers in the head and begins altering the chemical makeup of the brain, leading to cognitive dysfunction. Thankfully, these negative effects are short-term. After discovering the effects of overexposure on a living person, Dr. Maxis conducted several brainwashing experiments on members of Group 935, where he learned that in a more processed form, Element 115 could actually have positive effects on a living body. If correctly chemically synthesized, 115 could heal living organisms, even upon the brink of death. Examples of inventions utilizing this are the Juggernaut, Sekhmet's Vigor, the Pack-a-Punch version of the ballistic knife, as well as the Maxis drone. In fact, after being killed during the 1918 zombie outbreak, Dr. Maxis's brain was removed from its body by Dr. Richthofen through a highly experimental and controversial surgical operation, and through the use of technology developed with Element 115, his brain was successfully preserved within the drone, allowing Maxis to cheat death. Beyond being used as a solid, the substance can also be converted into various states, including liquid and gas forms. Because of these different states, a series of wonder weapons were created, each taking advantage of a different state of divinium. The Raygun, for instance, appears to be powered by Element 115 in lightning form, while the Sliquifier emerges in a goo-like form. Group 935 were also able to infuse more conventional weapons with the use of the aforementioned Pack-a-Punch. These were created and utilized by the Vrilya, an ancient race of beings that inhabited our planet before the dawn of man. Their main use was to create powerful weapons. Once placed in a Pack-a-Punch, the weapon was transported to the ether, where it received upgrades to its lethality. Group 935 were essentially able to reverse engineer the Vrilya Pack-a-Punch to create their own device that carried the same properties. On top of making weapons more lethal, these newly made machines could also grant them new ammo types, as well as special attachments. Besides attempting to make more powerful weapons and devices out of Element 115, an attempt was also made to turn the alien substance into a commercial product. The assumed goal was to provide Group 935 with a revenue stream so that they could fund their projects and continue on with their experiments. This commercialization of divinium led to the creation of various food-related products, including flavored sodas, candy, and cocktails that were distributed through vending machines seen throughout the playable maps. After consuming these products, people would receive some temporary upgrades to speed, agility, reflexes, strength, and stamina. While this might seem like an odd use for the substance, it just goes to show that Element 115 could be used in a seemingly infinite number of ways that was limited only by its user's might, knowledge, and imagination. The history of Element 115 is incredibly fascinating, with a lot of fundamentals rooted in mysterious pre-human civilizations and alternate dimensions. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see us explore the Chaos and Dark Aether storylines, or if you simply want a more comprehensive look at the entire Aether storyline. That's all for today, folks. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay up to date on all my content. Come join me at Patreon or Twitch for some extra videos, and if there's anything else you'd like to request, please don't hesitate to ask. As always, it's been a pleasure. Niyat here with Film Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.